Hi everybody, this is Boog Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the brand new McFarlane Toys Digital DC Multiverse Platinum Two-Face figure. So before we take a look at Two-Face, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with your standard McFarlane Toys Digital base, but he stands pretty well on his own. And finally, he comes with his data file. The shot on here represents the regular figure. Since this is the Platinum, the colors are different on there. And if you want to read that, go ahead and pause that now. So taking a look at this head sculpt, I think McFarlane Toys did a very awesome job on this. It's sculpted and painted very well, especially the scarred side of his face. I love all the textures that you get to it. I definitely wish it would have had a dry brushing of maybe a dark red over top of it or something. But that looks really good. I like how the left eye right there is an off-white collar. The teeth are printed on very well. And even the hair is sculpted really nicely. You get a nice light brown paint variation over top of the right side there. That looks really good. My only complaint is that the neck doesn't continue the texturing that's present on his face. And I actually thought this reused parts from this Two-Face, but the neck is textured on this movie Two-Face. It would have made sense if they would have used this neck, but no, this is a new piece because it's completely smooth. The other movie Two-Face is the same way as well. You get that texturing on the neck that's not present on this, so this actually might be a brand new upper torso piece. I also think the whole figure is sculpted very well. His whole suit has a texturing over top of it, and that looks really good. You can see the textures on the pants there, on the jacket. Man, that looks really good. And I think the paint on this came out really clean. I believe the jacket is cast in white and the black's painted over top of it. And you can see how it's like perfectly stops right there. And I think that looks really good. The only place where it's a little bit messy is down here on his pants. You can see a little bit of the white showing through right there. But other than that, I think they did a really good job of making the half paint line up right there. Like from the face down. I think they did a really good job on that. This does reuse the left hand of the Dark Knight Two-Face figure. I definitely wish that the coin would have been scarred right there. I really wish they would have sculpted that on top of that, but they didn't. And they also didn't texture the hand. It's really weird that since the face is textured so well, that the hand isn't. Definitely needed some sort of texturing going on right there. I also think that his right hand is a little bit too pale. I don't think they match the colors up very well from the right side of his skin tone. His hand isn't that much darker than his suit. It is just very, very pale. And you get a trigger finger, but no gun. I don't know if this is still part of the mandate. I think maybe the collector's editions or the DC figures that are allowed to have guns. But I did find a weapon here to put in his hand that works really well. I want to say this might have came with a Gremlins figure. But yeah, I think he looks a lot better with a gun in his hand, especially since he has the trigger finger there. So now, let's go ahead and go over his articulation. So he has a ball-jointed head that can look up all the way. He can look down all the way. He can move his head side to side and all the way around. He has shoulders that can move all the way out. They can spin around a decent amount. They're not too hindered by this piece right here. He has swivel at the bicep. Double-jointed elbows that can bend all the way in, wrists that can move up and down and spin all the way around. I think he has a ball-jointed diaphragm and waist that can move back that far. He can actually crunch forward very nicely. I'm really surprised by that. I feel like he can crunch better with this jacket on than most of the main figures can. He can't really move side to side up here, just because the way the joint's made. But he can move side to side at the waist and all the way around. He has hips that can do a complete split. He can kick forward just a little bit. He can kick back all the way. He has a decent thigh swivel. Double jointed knees that can move back all the way. Ankles that can move down just a little bit and up just a little bit because of the way the pants are sculpted. You can actually spin it all the way around, and toe articulation that can move up that far. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to the Batman and Robin version of himself. Here he is next to the Dark Knight version of himself. Here he is next to Nightfall Batman. Here he is next to the Platinum Digital Joker. I think this was from the last wave of digital figures. Here he is next to Platinum Mr. Freeze. Here he is next to regular Catwoman. And finally, here he is next to the Infinite Frontier Scarecrow figure. And while I think this is a really cool figure, and I love the design, I definitely want a more classic Scarecrow in the line before it ends. I definitely hope there's a classic Scarecrow coming this year. So overall, I think McFarlane Toys did a very good job on this figure. I love the sculpt and the paint detail to it. The only real flaw that I think it has is they didn't continue the texturing from the face onto the neck and the hand. But that's really a small nitpick. Oh, and I guess that he didn't come with a gun too, since he does have a trigger finger. But if you have any weapons from like a NECA figure or any of the McFarlane munitions pack, then they'll work with this one. So despite the nitpicks I had with the figure, I'd still recommend picking it up because it's really awesome and we finally have a really good comic Two-Face in the line. So, that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.